had to go through several layers of steel doors that close and open behind you.
Correct.
I mean, frankly, I don't know if I'm going to get out. Now, where are we? What are we approaching right now? This looks like some kind of a guard.
Right, this is what we call a housing unit. This is a tower set up for us. So we have a tower in the middle that is, in this housing unit, since there's close custody, is manned by 3 officers. We do security walks every 25 minutes, and when they're in the housing units, they have to have 2 officers when they're with that custody level of an inmate.
Are all the corrections officers here female that deal with the females?
No, not necessarily. We do have male officers that work here. They are pretty much limited to towers. They can walk in the housing units. They're just not assigned to dormitories.
Now, let me just digest that a moment. They're mostly limited to the towers?
There are mostly female staffed here. However, we do have a small section of males that work here. There are some places that they can work. They can work in a tower because they're not in their dormitory, which would be them disrobed at any one time. They might be disrobed in their cells. However, there's usually a door, and the officers are trained to just do their security walk.
Try to stay clean. Try not to run back to, as soon as I'm, like I was saying on the camera earlier, as soon as I leave here, it's just the bus ride away till I hit the pipe again. Crystal meth is my drug of choice, and just try to stay clean, call someone, get someone to stand by me and keep me locked up out there, you know, on a chain or something where it's harder to get, slower to get there by the time I get to, you know, the drugs.
See, to me, you sound like you're still addicted.
I know I'm addicted.
Okay.
I know I'm addicted.
Is anybody else still addicted to something?
Very much.
What?
Crystal meth.
Meth.
Ecstasy, crystal meth, ecstasy.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never done any drug at all, not even weed. So what does meth do to you? Because I'm sure you've seen the before and after pictures.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They look like a living skeleton with like scabs all over their face and their teeth are falling out, all that. You've seen it, right?
It's a sexual thing for me when I did it.
Yeah.
What now?
It was a sexual thing for me when I did it.
That probably makes it.
What?
Meth.
Meth
I
and
know, but
ecstasy.
what?
Sexual? What do
It
you
makes
I know what do you mean,
everything-
sexual.
Yeah,
What?
When I
just
started
have
doing-
sex. That's what it was
when I
about.
started doing meth-
Get
It
high
makes
and-
you want to have sex, or it
Correct.
makes the sex
All the-
better?
Wait, everything.
Both.
Okay, how does it make the sex better?
Like one
Because
touch,
it
your
does. You're
whole
willing
body's
to
like tingling.
experiment more. You're more sensual. Your touch is a lot more sensitive than it normally is, and
Sometimes I don't get like that.
I do.
Sometimes
I
I'm
do.
real evil.
When
know
I started
that.
doing it, it
I'm
was
sensing that.
it was
I'm getting that whole evil vibe
I'm a really
thing.
good person. I'm really funny too. I'm really funny.
I'm feeling the evil.
Really?
It was too
Yeah, I do not want to see you on meth.
It's in my police report, which I'm pretty sure you read.
Yeah.
when I started
But
doing
right now, you just seem
I'm
so
cool.
sweet.
Yeah. I'm like the coolest person ever. I will like have you 100%.
But I got a
so
feeling
funny.
you on meth, that's a whole nother
No,
thing.
no, I'm just incredibly like freaking. What's his name? Hail Hitler. Yeah, kind of way. Like that's how evil I get. It's ridiculous. I'm not good on it. My
I was
family
like
hates
that
it.
once.
My
But
family hates
is it
I was like that
in
when I was using
you
the
that
needle.
you think about it when you're behind bars
Yes.
and you want it?
No, you don't think about it.
When I used the needle, I was like that.
I don't start thinking about it until you crave. It's like a feeling you crave when you hit. As soon as I hit outside, it's like, what are you gonna do now? Instead of like going to your mom's or like going, you know, to run to a clinic or something. First thing I do, you know, it's like returning back to the party. You want to go back to that night that you were arrested. It's always like that's how it feels for me.
I don't want to go back to that.
That's how it always feels for me. Like where
Do
the time
not
when we were
go
like,
back
everybody
to
was
the
all
party.
getting high and nobody's around no more. You know.
I wish they had like
But when I first started
counseling
doing
or
meth, it
something
was-
in here
it was
for
to
some of
lose
these
weight.
women, you
Yeah,
know,
they need
that
it.
think, you know, their minds there, you know.
Did you say they need it?
I know I need counseling.
You need it!
Am I that bad?
To me, this is counseling. To me, this is counseling. I know when I walk out, I'm not doing nothing. I'm good. I'm good. I won't even drink.
This place is as neat as a pin.
And it's a female housing unit, so we actually get lucky because the females usually keep it pretty clean.
Do they have to clean it themselves?
Yeah, we have trustees that work in the kitchen, work in the hallways. The inmates, of course, that are unsentenced are not authorized out here, but we have we're out at tents where you're going to be later. All the trustees live out there, and they have their jobs inside here. So, of course, we have male trustees, females, but the females come in here and serve food, clean up the housing units, mop the floors, stuff like that.
Male trustees come in here?
No, males are at the male facilities, females
Smart.
at homes. Yeah. Back when I first started, this did have males and
Recipe
females.
for trouble.
We had a hallway of males and a hallway of females, and we were kind of like traffic police. We had to stop the boys, get the girls to go. So.
A lot of time that I'm missing with my children, and although they know that I love them, I'm not your average drug addict. I'm intelligent and articulate, and I have all the tools that I need in order to succeed. I just never bothered to do so. I've tried, but I've failed repeatedly. And so I think it's really important to me to show my children that I can succeed, that I'm not a failure, that I do love them, that even though mommy was there all the time, she wasn't the best mommy that she could have been. And their dad's in prison, he's doing 10 years. So, you know, they don't even know what it's like to have a stable household, except for through foster care, and I'm thankful for that. But I'd like to be able to provide them the stability of a mother that a mother's supposed to. And so those are my two biggest things. My kids and sign language are probably the two biggest things that are the most important to me.
Why did you play instead of going to trial?
At the end of the day, if you lose that trial, sometimes you're looking at more time than you would.
Are looking at more time.
You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was in my best interest to take the first plea. Some people don't take the first plea. They wait for the second, and the second one's worse than the first one. And I don't want to take that risk.
Well, I remember when I was prosecuting, I would give the first plea offer, and I would give them another plea calendar, like 2 weeks, to decide if they wanted it or not. But then, when I would have to start working the case up, like going out on the street, finding witnesses, sending out subpoenas, going to the crime lab, going out taking pictures, the more I worked the case, the higher the deal would be, because that's taken me off cases like rape cases and murder cases, child molestation cases that I really needed to work on. So the more they took me off those, the higher that plea would. I start off fairly, you know, in the ballpark.
At least you think about child molestation.
Say what?
They don't think about that in this state. First time you could get caught for child molestation, you get off on probation.
And they walk
Not in my courtroom, I'm proud to say.
In Arizona they do.
In California, they're not allowed to walk the yard with regular people in prison. Out here in Arizona, when everyone's out, you don't, you know, they could be walking right among you.
You know, you'll see like so many men, they call them, I forgot what they call them, knocks here. In court, you'll see knocks just full of nothing but child crimes. And they're laughing and all going home on probation. And then you see somebody over here with the meth addiction, and they're getting sent 5 years in prison. But
Okay,
he's
let
gonna
me
go
ask you a
molest another
question.
kid.
And I'm not asking about you in particular, but have you ever seen a case where somebody got, quote, jailhouse justice, like a child molester got an ass whipping behind bars for being a child molester?
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I've seen it. I don't know. I've seen it a lot in
female
jail or
jail.
prison.
Either one.
Oh, in prison, yeah, very much. Over here is a joke. These girls are scared to lose their canteen. They're finding, oh, never mind. You know, they're finding other. You mean other things? People come to jail and get scared. They do, but they talk a lot. You see all in the day room, they talking big crap. But when it comes down to it, they have no unity. And when somebody comes in that has a horrible crime and the cops raise their voice just to another level, they all scared.
They'll be fighting one day, they'll be fighting at each other's face one day, and then next, like, give it like a day and a half, and they're buddy again. It's just like, you know, we just got on restriction because y'all were fighting, and now you want to be buddy.
All the cops do is mention restriction, and these girls
just be quiet.
buckle up.
Because
It's
everyone wants their
ridiculous.
food.
They'll kick it with somebody they'll hang out with somebody that molests kids or killed a baby, but they want to say, oh, that's wrong. But you're sitting here hanging out with somebody that seriously did something disgusting to their child.
Mac's supposed to be for dangerous and violent crimes, and we got prostitutes coming in and people for sales, and then we got the people that are facing really high-profile crimes, and us that are going out for a lot of time, and our mentality is totally different from somebody that's facing like 1 year in prison to 20 years in prison. So that's where a lot of animosity happens, because you got this girl complaining all day long about something you're going home to, and you're gonna come back anyway because we're gonna see you in 6 months later because you're gonna go out there and do the same thing, and then you got people that are facing a lot amount of time, and that's where most of the fights break out in here, is the different mindsets. I mean, it's supposed to be, classification is supposed to be completely different here, but it's not, because you throw everybody together.
Yeah.
And it's different. I mean, you can't have somebody have a conversation when they're facing this and you got somebody facing this.
It's hard.
And they're a person constantly on it, nagging. You're like, you keep telling them over and over. And I say, like, we really don't want to hear about this. We don't want to hear about this. Or we don't know. We don't know. We're trying to say it the nicest way. And then finally somebody just flips out because they got so much frustration. Like, shut up about this stuff. Like, really? Why is she in this pod with us? Like, it's ridiculous. So girls roll. It's a constant battle with the cops, too, because they keep getting girls that want to roll out of the pod, and cops just can't move a person just because they want to. There has to be a significant amount of reason. But how can a girl go up to the cops and be like, I just don't get it in here. They give me attitude all the time. I feel like I'm getting picked on. It's not that you're getting picked on. It's you want to shut the hell up about something petty and you're going to be back in 6 months.
I'm just going to put you guys together. Okay. Love this. John?
I love you, kids. Bye.
What's the thing that you miss the very most when you're here? Don't say children, because I already know that. What's the thing on the outside that you miss the most?
Shoes, Jordans.
Freedom.
I love Jordans.
Yeah,
See,
being able to
I
do
do not care about
Go where you
shoes,
want.
I love
clothes,
shoes.
jewelry,
Purses.
cars, nothing. Don't care.
I miss cooking. I miss getting up and cooking.
I would
and,
miss cooking.
And,
Going to the
and getting
store.
whatever I wanted to get in the
What now?
refrigerator.
Going to the store, just being able to walk around,
my
and,
freedom,
like, you
just
know,
doing
yeah,
whatever I
just
want.
But
freedom.
when you say I miss my freedom, I know that. But what about it exactly?
I miss working.
Not worrying about
Turning on the
being able to go
TV.
to the bathroom in peace,
Yeah.
you know? Being able to,
Turning on the TV.
because if it's not my bunkie, then it's a guard that's walking
You know what?
around,
Music.
you know? Oh, sorry,
Music.
you know?
Music.
I would say
We used to have
working,
radios here, but we don't have them no more. They took them.
music, my dogs, and my family, and my husband. Those are the only things that matter to me.
For me, personally, I think the one thing I miss the most that I haven't done in a really long time is spinning fire. Like that for me is the coolest thing ever. Like Hawaiian style, luau style, just spinning some fire and the noise.
I don't even know what spinning fire is.
Like you go to a luau and you see the guys spinning the fire around.
Yeah.
That, and the noise that it makes as it whizzes past your head. It's got this.
That's cool.
It's amazing. And that for me is like the closest I get to heaven on earth. That's the most peaceful I am. Aside from family and stuff like that, that's like my thing that I do when I'm out there. If I can find something to light on fire and spin around my head, guaranteed I'm doing it.
Now, see, I would never have guessed that one.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the minute you get out, if you had your wish, what would be the first thing that you do when you get out?
Besides children,
Yeah.
go eat at Cracker Barrel.
Eat what at Cracker Barrel?
A chicken fried steak, green beans and potatoes and macaroni and cheese.
That's what my brother gets. Chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go to Joe's Crab Shack. I miss seafood. Honestly, when I get out, I'm actually debating on whether or not to go back east with the family. Tennessee or Kentucky, I haven't decided yet. But I'm out of here. Arizona's not for me anymore. I'm born and raised here. I've been here all my life. I'm 32 years old, and I seem to just keep continuously getting myself into something, you know, whether it's intentional or not intentional, you know, by accident.
Start over somewhere else.
You know, just start new somewhere. It'll be
Look,
good.
you're not tied down with children.
That's right.
You don't have anything you have to do here. Leave.
That's right.
If you had children, whole nother ball game.
That's right.
What's the first thing? I got a good feeling about your case.
I want to go home and just kick back with my family and barbecue, some hot dogs, some steaks, play with my dogs in the backyard, go swimming, just fresh air, just give hugs and kisses, and hopefully my husband will be with me. I really miss him. It's been hard this last 7 months without him. I'm not allowed to talk to him, so.
Can you even write letters?
No. We're co-defendants, so.
What?
Co-defendants. So we can't write. But he's got my back. We know what happened.
They can't write each other at all?
No.
I didn't know that. I thought that authorities would want them to write each other in case they said something in the letter that they could use against them.
Her husband did petition. We submitted a copy of the marriage license to the jail.
I mean, I get it. I understand that, but I mean, as a prosecutor, I loved it when people wrote letters to each or letters to anybody.
Where do they meet with their lawyers?
We have a legal visitation area. There are 4 legal cells back there. It's divided somewhat with like a mesh screen, but there's a document pass-through, so they can have contact with their attorney for paperwork to sign or things to look at, what have you. Or if their custody level is lower, they can have face-to-face visitation.
That mesh push-through, how thick?
It's probably about 1.5 inches, maybe an inch, 1.5 inches. Just enough to get some. A lot of times, if it's the discovery is very thick, very big, they'll have to piece it through there a little bit at a time.
Now, let's talk about tats. Let's talk about your tats, okay? Because I can't help. Now, did you ever think that if you did, and I'm not saying you did, but if you did commit a crime, you would be easily identifiable?
No, because I always cover up.
Smart. Okay, let's see what you got.
This one's not finished because I had to have surgery on my neck. So it was GF. It was my neighborhood at the time when I was into gangs.
Which was?
Eastside Garfield.
Okay.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Stop what?
Can't stop, won't stop. None of my vices.
Okay, and the tear?
The teardrop. No comment.
What's the teardrop for?
No, there's a lot of different meanings.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was a prosecutor for 10 years, inner city Atlanta.
Wow.
I get it. Okay. Okay, so what's right there?
Pain before pleasure.
Why?
My life.
Okay.
I got loyalty. My daughter. My mom.
I want to see the daughter.
It's kind of
A smile and a...
that smile and I'll cry later.
Okay.
I'm a rose because my nickname's Blossom. So Green Eyes, my mother.
Wait, this one is going away.
I kind of carved it out.
Oh, God. Okay, I assume that means you dug it out of your skin. Married to the game.
Yeah.
And the game is?
The lifestyle.
Okay, word. Now, let's see yours. Denied.
Yeah, I was gonna get, that was gonna go along, a couple years ago when I was in here, I got denied. I was gonna get, once denied my freedom with handcuffs here and I didn't. And then that's
Okay,
just,
I'm glad you didn't. What is that?
Oh my. This used to be somebody's name and
Ah.
I actually covered it up to resemble.
Whose name was it?
A woman.
I know, but you broke up.
Tina, I said Tina.
You broke up?
And then this actually resembles, she's one, I'm one, and then another. So.
Okay, anything else for me?
Yeah, I got this.
And that
It's
means?
not finished. I'm on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, so I did a water pouring into
Now,
the
what are
Capricorn.
your Capricorn and Aquarius, that makes you what kind of person?
I'm on the cusp, so I'm an amazing person.
I'm on the cusp of Scorpio.
You're an amazing person.
And I don't know what that means.
That means you're an amazing person.
Yeah, okay. How often do they get to use the phones?
For these guys, they're out 16 hours a day.
Ah,
So
okay.
minus head counts or any emergencies, they have access to it about 16 hours a day.
Who changes the channel?
We do.
Shouldn't that be on HLN?
They don't, unfortunately.
What do they get?
They get very limited channels, nothing local. It's mostly Weather Channel, Food Channel, Sheriff Joe Channel, Food Network. You
What's the Sheriff Joe channel?
We have a Sheriff Joe channel that kind of he can access and put tapes on. We can run a tape like for Christmas. For a while he was reading to the inmates at night. We put on a tape and he would read stories to the inmates.
Such as?
I don't know the books, but he would read and it would be over the TV. He'd be sitting in front of a fireplace and reading.
What's the hole?
jail.
who just got in trouble for that.
What's the hole?
It's lockdown, where you're 23 hours a day in a cell by yourself.
Okay, forget the hooch. I don't want to go to the hole, whatever that is.
But
I
everything's
spent 30 days
sugar-free,
there.
so you
Who's
can't
been in the hole?
Huh?
I've been in close custody. That's like the whole.
I spent 30 days in the hole.
I knew. I
spent, like,
knew.
5 days in
If
the
you
hole.
would kick a door in, you would totally be in the hole.
Yeah, I did 6 months close custody.
Because you just
That's
gonna.
worse.
You are gonna go. Okay, why did you go in the hole?
I actually went because it was so petty, actually, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I was out at rec and I found a couple pieces on the ground that were metal pieces, and instead of giving them to my favorite officer right away, she found it on me and sent me to the hole for 30 days.
What would you do with it? What's a metal piece?
They were, it was an L bracket and 3 small rings. That's what I said. What am I going to do with these?
What were you going to do with those?
I wasn't going to do anything with them. Give them to her is what I was going to do, but she beat me to it. She came like, I don't know, we were out at rec for like 30 minutes when we have an hour, and then she was like, everybody put your hands on the wall, and I was like, oh, shoot, I have these, and I gave them to her. And then she was like, oh, she took me to my cell, stripped me out, took me to lockdown. So I was fighting it back there, but I lost, of course, but.
Prison, oh yeah, what you probably think of what jail is what prison is, you know, but jail, no.
Yeah, prison's a lot more like that rather than county jail, you know.
There's rules you go by.
People just numb their body with a drug or alcohol or whatever it is that they're addicted to, you know. And when everybody knows that when you numb your body like that, you don't normally feel, you know, the pain that you would when you're sober, you know. You're not thinking, you're not thinking clearly, so you go out and do things that you wouldn't normally do, you know. So people just come in here and brag about it, and they think they're something, and really they're not.
Crying about 28
And then they
days.
come in here and they're falling apart.
And it's usually the ones that brag about it, to be honest with you, you know. Usually the ones that brag about it are usually the ones that are nothing. They're really, you know what I mean? It was all just because they were numbing their body, or they had that gun behind them, or that knife, or, you know.
I want to say something. I wasn't on drugs or alcohol when I had my situation. And I really think that it's a battle within my mind and my upbringing. So I'm going to get some deep counseling to kind of help me cope with what's up under.
What do you think it is? You mentioned something about how you were raised.
Yeah, just abandonment, just not being loved, just always being abandoned. And I don't know,
Your mom left?
Yeah, well, I never was with my mom. She was in a motorcycle gang. She moved to Arizona like when I was 9, 10 years old, so I came here for like 5 years, but I don't remember anything. We lived in Phoenix back in '80, West Tonto somewhere, wherever that is. And, you know, so just being abandoned a lot. I was abandoned a lot, and like Granny just had to work all of the times to take care of us, so she never could be there to like love us or say, I love you and spend time, like, you know, so, and I did that with my children, but then I got to the point of time where they got older and I just threw my hands up. All of that started rising, and my kids were old enough, you know, that I thought they were, that I had raised them where they can, you know, fend for themselves, and that was the biggest mistake, that I chose drugs. And I think that's where my daughter has a hardest time forgiving me at, is that she's my only girl. And I wasn't there. I wasn't there for that menstrual part of her life. I wasn't there for a lot of things, and there was always another woman with her dad that caused problems.
Help me. Okay. If you could give me one piece of advice to be a good mother, what would it be? I already don't do drugs. I already don't drink, so forget about that.
I would say spend as much time with your kids as you possibly can, not to watch them about drinking or drugging, but just to say I love you and
my
caress
boss
them.
is sitting right behind me, so you can tell him I need more time off with my children.
Say I love you as much as possible and hold and hug and just let that child feel love. Yeah. Always.
Hold them, squeeze them, kiss them.
Even just saying it, my mom worked a lot when we grew up, and I hate the thought that she probably thinks that it's her fault that, you know, that I became a drug addict and a bad mother. But thanks, Mom. You know, I don't think that I don't remember you getting up at 11 o'clock in the morning to be a nurse, or making sure Thanksgiving that we didn't have a turkey on the table, you know, that we did. And no matter what, even if it wasn't a pay week every 15 days, you know? Just thanks, Mom, and you are appreciated.
Some of these cablings are for new camera systems. Some of the cabling is for, we have a video visitation system in the back for public defenders and stuff, so they don't have to come down here and see their clients
Now,
as much.
all of their visitations and phone calls are recorded, correct?
Visitation, not so much, because there's legal visitation that goes on there. There's phone calls.
Not the lawyer visitation.
Right. In the main room, it's video recorded, correct.
Good. When you are sitting here and you're thinking, how am I going to stay sane for the next 9 years? You're thinking about what are you going to do with this child different than what happened with the last time. And they did not go to foster care because your mom did not pick up the phone.
No.
They went to foster care because you are in jail.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe if she had picked up the phone, she could have put it off, but you've got a chance now with this one. I mean, what do you think about to keep your head straight in here? I mean, I'm not saying everybody has screwed up, not just you.
Different society,
Everybody
different
has.
community. I think about leaving Phoenix all the time.
Why are you
just
crying?
to just get away, cause it's a lot of like I hear the stories and then people ask me that all the time and it's like, you know what, maybe if I was in a different area, maybe, you know, I had different group of friends.
That
or,
is
you know,
not crazy.
Maybe I could
You
join
know,
a parenting group
Have
this
you
time.
ever heard that thing, birds of a feather? If you could get away from that influence and start somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, people change your scenery all the time to try to start over.
But you can't run from your vice.
Oh, I'm not saying run. I'm saying start
but you can't,
over.
because I've been changed around too, but if your vice is there and you haven't had anything or any kind of help or any kind of tools to change that, you're going to go back to what you know.
It's all about self-control.
Well,
That's
see,
what it's all
here's the
about.
thing. Who has ever been hung up on dope? I don't care what it is. Weed, crack, cocaine, heroin, meth, doesn't matter.
Of course, all of us.
That is, or booze, alcohol. It gets in you. You cannot shake it.
Get up
If somebody's there for 10 years and they get out and they go back to that same old behavior, they're plain and simple addicts. That's all it is to it, you know?
And they don't want to change.
And and they don't want to change. They're not going to. After 10 years, really, you're going to get out and go right back to that same lifestyle? Something's wrong, you know?
And straight up, like, if you still get high in prison, you're gonna get high in the streets. I don't care, like, if it's a pill, I don't care what it is. Like in here, a lot of girls sedate themselves. They go to psych and get on all these pills so they can stay high. And they don't need those pills. They think you know when you guys do your ranges of how many people in the prison system is crazy, that's so wrong because probably 0% of them are crazy. There are some that are crazy, and the officers know about them because after a while they see that they're kind of cuckoo and they send them out to the psych hospital. Everybody else that's in the pill, like the med nurse, is
doing it to get high or doing it to go to sleep so they can, you know, surpass their time. So
all those ratings that they do nationally wide about how many people are crazy, it's so full of it.
Yep.
Because a large percentage of the people that are getting medicated while they're in jail or in prison, more so in jail, I would say.
Yeah, I say more so in jail because prison, it's different over there.
It's different, but more so in jail, you know, a large percentage of the people that are getting medicated are using them to get high, to get away, to escape, like they would on the streets, which really doesn't make a lot of sense because if you're here for drugs, why wouldn't you try to change those habits instead of continuing on in the same vicious cycle that you've been repeating your entire life? It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but, you know, people choose to do what they choose to do.
Has anybody ever escaped from this jail?
Yeah, yeah. We've had escapes. We've had attempted escapes. We've gotten them back. But yeah, we've had escape attempts. We always say attempts because we always get them back.
Do you? I mean, do they actually leave the grounds?
The last one jumped off the roof and broke both ankles, feet, and back. So she didn't get very far.
How'd she get up on the roof?
She climbed the rec yard fence, that's what it was. Climbed the rec yard fence and went through a bunch of other fencing, got up on the roof, and then went to the corner of the building and jumped off.
Okay, do you know about the woman that tried to escape from here and broke her legs and her back?
Oh, she's in close custody. She was in close custody with me for a little bit because I was in close custody for 6 months, and then I earned my way down to
She
max.
wanted to get out so bad she broke her back?
I don't know, but there's actually 2 that tried to escape, and they're both like really young girls that were doing like 6 months and like under.
They couldn't make it for
and went
6
to the
months.
tents, yeah, and jumped over. One jumped over the fence and sat there because she was too high on drugs, and then the other one fell off the roof.
That's the
Or
one.
that fell
the
through
fence or something like that and broke her back. I've seen her with the back brace because I was asking the cops
Out
when
at the
I was on my
backyard?
hour out. I'm like, who is that over there? They're like, some dumb, never
She
mind.
only had 6 months. So she couldn't do. She had to break her back.
I guess she broke her back, maybe.
I heard that she was just really trying to see if she could do it, if it could really happen.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
haven't
I heard.
talked to her myself. Yeah.
That's an idiot as far as I'm concerned.
The walls of this structure. What do you have to keep people from escaping? Are there fences, barbed wire, what?
Yeah, all of the above. We have a fencing system. As you noticed, there was nothing really outside. There's no trees. There's no shrubs to hide behind. There's a blank area. There's bright lights. If you come here at 10 o'clock at night, it'll be like you're at a movie theater. It's so bright. I mean, well, probably not a movie theater. That's kind of dark.
I know what you mean.
But it's real bright. Spotlights. Also, and our officers. I mean, our officers walk every 25 minutes in a circle and check everybody there. So that's the first line of our defense is the officer making sure that everybody that's supposed to be there is there. You've got to get down this long, narrow hallway. You've got to get through those big steel doors that you got through. And there's another door behind that one. You got to wait for that one to close. So there's a lot of different safety levels that you have to go through.
The biggest clue, the biggest giveaway that something's going to happen is when you have a lot of eyes on you. So you'll be sitting there watching your housing unit and you'll notice that every inmate's watching you. That's usually because they're looking out. They're trying to see what you're going to do and where you're going to be. And they try to go in an area that might not be in direct view of your eyes. And when they do that, they usually will put pointers out. They'll put inmates in certain sections to stand and watch and let them know, hey, an officer's coming. And so the officers are trained to pay attention that if an inmate's been standing there for a while watching them, and half the room is moved this way, obviously there's something going on.
I've been to different counties, and some counties are not like this. Like this is the only county that seriously, like, we only get fed twice. You know, like twice a day. Like, the intake process through 4th Ave is just so ridiculous. Like other counties, it's not that harsh. Like, Maricopa County is probably the harshest county that I've ever been to. And so I don't know if it's by design, but I know that maybe it's just like doesn't have enough money to house all the inmates or feed all the inmates.
I see the pink socks. It's for real. Everything is pink. Okay. You don't have to show me. Does that include underwear?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Unless they're brand new, then you get white.
Yeah.
Does anybody care?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes,
I do not
wear
care.
pink underwear.
Huh?
I won't wear pink underwear.
Yeah, I don't like-
Only wear the white ones because nobody else has worn them.
Yeah.
They're
it's
brand new out
disgusting.
the packet.
How do you then, what do you just go commando? Because how can you get black underwear out of the packet?
There's no packet, I don't think.
No, they do
sell.
laundry. And there's
You'll
white
see them
ones.
come up to
see
you.
them come up laundry. They come 3
Through the
times a
window?
week
You
for
can
underwear.
get black underwear?
No.
And you know what
White,
size
white.
is
They
white?
have white or
Either
pink,
6
and the
or
white ones
8.
are the brand new ones.
Yeah. The white ones
If
are
you
the brand new
only
ones.
wear black underwear and
I
they
only wear
only
white.
have white or pink, then I assume you do not wear underwear.
Well, we get 2 pairs of underwear, so we can wash them out and trade them, and they come 3 times a week for underwear. So we can trade them out when laundry comes and get 2 more pair.
She only wears white, not black.
Only white.
Oh, okay. Why not pink? Just
Because
curious.
somebody else wears them. I don't
Someone
wear
has
what other
worn
people
them.
wear.
Yeah.
Okay, I would totally agree with that. So nobody else wears white but you?
No, most inmates are like that.
All of us. like-
No, not all.
get a
not
pair of
all.
white
Yeah, not all. The smart ones, let's put it that way.
The ones that still got a
The ones that
brain.
use their brain.
Okay.
I ain't never seen nothing like this, ever. Like, when I talk to the girls that are here, and I tell them some of the things that we had in California, they're like, really, or whatever. Like, we have vending machines in our county jail. We have 2 TVs. We have opportunity to be out amongst each other all day, no problem. You know, if one person messes up, it's just that one person's fault. Here, one falls for all, you know?
I've been locked up in California. I've been locked up in Oklahoma. I've been locked up in different counties here, and it's so much better. And I know we put ourselves here. That's understandable. We broke the law, that we're going to deal with the consequences. But that doesn't mean to the extent where you try to break us and tear us down, because we're already tear down. I mean, I think it'd be better if they give us more programs, but at the same time, are we really going to,
Utilize them, huh?
yeah, are we? I mean, we're already in a state of mind where we're already institutionalized and we know where we're going to come face. We just accept what they're going to give and we stop complaining because we know grieving really don't do nothing. The cops don't care if you grieve them. They tell you grieve us. You mean the systems they got to try to better ourselves? It doesn't matter because by the time you get to the top, it doesn't matter.
They don't care what they say.
I mean, you're complaining about little stuff to them. You're complaining about food, medical, clothing, and the way the officers treat you. That's an everyday thing.
I know you don't have children, but I know you had a mother. So give me your advice to be a good mom.
I would say I've lost my mother when I was 11, so I've been on my own.
Man.
But, yeah. So I really haven't
What happened
experienced
to her?
that. She was a victim of malpractice. Yeah.
Okay, give me advice.
Be honest. Don't hide anything. Because they're going to find out
I
anyway.
wish you hadn't said that.
Kids already know.
Your kids already know.
Kids already know. We already
And
know.
I think be honest
do.
and just let them know everything, with everything what's going on in this world, because if you keep hiding it and don't tell them, they're going to want to do it.
Guys, you're so great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I have a snippet to add to you.
Okay.
You should totally tell them to give us extra sacks for this.
I've heard it all.
Caught head count. Gotcha. Do you have children? No, I do not. Do your husband's on the outside?
Yes.
When you get out?
Did you take over the Grand Canyon?
Well, today we went riding go-karts.
How old are they? They're still fine? Yeah, they're still little.
Good. Thank you.